Hey guys, what's up? This is Pants R Dragon, and today we'll be doing the top 5 best AD carries for solo queue. In this patch, Mordekaiser is an AD carry now. Well, you know what I mean, he's in that role. And the last time we did a tier list was in patch 5.13, so I just want to give you guys an update on the tier list and what my personal opinion is like for everything right now. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so first up is gonna be Tristana. So it's time for me to hop on this Tristana bandwagon and say that she's pretty good. What I notice about her in my games is that she takes down towers really fast, and that's something that should be prioritized a lot if you want to win the game. You know, taking down towers. And it's hard to kill her in the laning phase as she does have 2 escapes, which is her ultimate and her W. Oh, and also her W is a reset, so in team fights it's easy for her to clean up and get that pentakill. And one thing I noticed from like a lot of good Tristana players is they know their damage, so they will usually use their ultimate and then auto attack to finish someone off. And then I look at that and I'm like, whoa, I could never done that unless I like played Tristana for at least 10 games. And it's just something that impresses me from these Tristana players that know how much their damage output is. The one thing I don't like about Tristana is that she does have a rather weak mid game. She's only good mid game if she has some items, otherwise, compared to other AD carries in this tier list, she doesn't have a lot of base damage, and it kind of takes a while for her to play catch up. So yeah, not the greatest champion when you're behind. Next up we have Sivir. So in patch 5.15 she received a nerf to her ultimate, where it now does 40% at level 6 but scales up to 60% at level 16. Did it affect her or not? No way, because well, at level 6 she's in the early game and that's not team fighting yet. All it really did was put a thorn in her asshole and she can't run as fast to her turret when the enemy is engaging on her, and she still has good initiation power in the early game when she wants to go into the enemy. And like her ultimate still gives a ton of movement speed in the team fight phase, which is like level 11, so like 50% versus 60% is not a big deal. But she's definitely not being played as often. People are shying away from this champion and looking towards other champions. So I did move her up a bit, and I guess you can say those nerfs to her ultimate before this nerf kind of affected her in terms of how powerful she is. I also feel like she should only be picked in certain team comps, and I do get a vibe AD carries only pick her if they feel like she fits well in the team comp. Next up is going to be Vayne. You know, with all these juggernauts and tanks in this meta right now, Vayne excels at killing them, kiting them, and 1v1ing all of them. And I have repeated this before in previous tier lists, but since all of our lane bullies are not that great in this meta right now, like Caitlyn, Draven, Graves, etc., she'll be pretty good until they come back into the meta. Since one of her weakest points is her laning phase, and if she can get through that, she's going to be really good in the mid game and late game. And after Vayne is going to be Calista. Do you remember those nerfs to her auto attacks? Well, guess what, it doesn't matter because they did nerf her W. Her E is still going to burst you for a lot of damage, and I did an analysis in an old patch rundown where the nerfs actually didn't really hurt her laning phase too much and increases the damage of her Q and E ever so little. But overall, her laning phase is still really strong, and let me tell you a story. One time I was playing Nami in the support lane, and I was facing Renegade, Maple, and Remelia, and they were playing Calista Thresh, and then my AD carry started crying before the laning phase started, and then when the laning phase did start, and they got the first kill, I started crying, and yeah, there was nothing we could really do. It was a really strong matchup they had, and then yeah, we lost the lane, and eventually lost the game, and I queued up with them again, and I was just like trying to figure out how do you beat Calista and Thresh, and then they said you don't. You either take away Thresh or take away Calista, but if they're ever paired up, it's a really hellish nightmare lane. And I was like, oh. So I couldn't do anything in that lane. Felt better about myself, but yeah, she just snowballs really hard. Still has utility and the finisher with her E, but one thing of course is that she falls off late game since she's the only champion to have a 0.9 scaling on her auto attacks. So try to finish the game as soon as possible and try to abuse your mid game with Calista. And our number 1 AD carry is going to be Mordekaiser, who's not really an AD carry. Okay. So he's really OP right now. And I got some pictures to show you of why I think he's so OP. Exhibit A. Now if we're talking single target damage, this skill actually has 60 base damage scaling, and it also heals you. But wait, everything here can be doubled if you're both on the same target. And so basically, if you have 5 points into this skill, you have 850 base damage on one ability, which is on an 8-second cooldown. What? No champion has this shit. Oh yeah, I'm not even including the incredible AP scaling on it too. But this skill right here is what makes Mordekaiser literally broken. On top of that, you get a dragon pet, which you can control across the map from anywhere. A fun fact also is you get % maximum health of this dragon, so you get like 500 to like 700 health, which is fucking beast. And also everyone's building him so stupidly, but it doesn't matter because Mordekaiser is just a really good champion right now. So it doesn't matter what you build, you're Mordekaiser, you're gonna do a lot of things in the game. And yeah, literally abuse this champion to its fullest until they nerf this champion. Oh, and don't do these pro builds right here. Don't build Hextech Gunblade, don't build Triforce. Just do my build and you'll be like climbing a ladder in no time. Trust me, I've tried the other builds and I don't like them. It does feel like cheating, I'll admit, but whatever. Also have melee supports who can gap close easily. Oh, and if you want to play them as a support, be my guest. Just remember to have someone who can like suicide themselves into the enemy team, like Tristana, and put that W on them. Next up is a bunch of honorable mentions. Well, we just go through them all very quickly, since it's basically the same honorable mentions you'll see in every video up until they buff some AD carries. So there's Karki, there's Draven, there's Graves, there's Ashe, who actually kind of gets a nerf in this patch with the new Randuins, and there's Jinx, because she was bumped up from having Mordekaiser being placed in AD carry tier list. And yeah, that basically sums it up. Hope you guys ban that shit Mordekaiser if people start figuring him out. If you guys don't think Mordekaiser is #1 AD carry, and don't say it's because he doesn't build Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.